Empress Zarathil stood on the bridge of her warship, looking down at the blue planet below. Earth, the 18th world she would conquer. The 18th world that would bow to her empire. "How long will this take?" she asked her general. 3 days, maybe 4, General Vexter replied. "The humans have no real weapons, no shields, no space fleet. This will be easier than taking the crystal worlds." Zarathil smiled, showing her sharp teeth. The crystal worlds had fallen in 2 hours. These humans would be even easier. She was 7 feet tall with purple skin that shined like metal. Her 4 arms each held different weapons. Her yellow eyes could see in complete darkness. She had conquered 17 star systems and ruled over billions of aliens. She was the most feared warrior in the galaxy. And these humans? Her spies said they were weak, soft. They lived on a gentle world with clean air and flowing water. They had never faced real danger. They would break like glass. "Begin the attack," she ordered. The first human city burned within an hour. Their metal flying machines fell from the sky like dead birds. Their ground vehicles exploded when her plasma cannons touched them. Their soldiers ran away screaming when they saw her warriors. New York fell, London fell, Tokyo fell, Beijing fell. The human leaders called her on their primitive communication devices. They begged, they cried. They offered her gold and diamonds and oil. They surrendered everything. "Please," the human leader said through the screen. His face was wet with tears. "We give up." "Just don't kill us all." "Smart choice," Zarathil said. "You will serve the Velthari Empire now. Obey, and most of you will live." She landed her ship in the place humans called New York. Her soldiers took the tall building where human leaders used to meet. She made it her palace. Within 3 days, flags with her symbol flew from every human city. It was perfect. Too perfect, Zarathil sat on her new throne, made from the melted remains of human weapons. Humans lined up every day to bow before her. They brought food, art, and gifts. They spoke softly and kept their eyes down. They looked beaten, but something felt wrong. "Bring me the work crews," she told her guards. 20 humans walked into her throne room. They wore dirty clothes and looked tired. These were the ones who cleaned her palace, fixed broken things, and carried heavy objects. The lowest of the low, one human stepped forward. He was average height for his species, maybe 30 years old. Brown hair, brown eyes, nothing special. About him, his name badge said, "Jinha, Maintenance." "You," Zarathil pointed at him. "Come closer." Jinha walked forward. He didn't shake like the others. He looked right at her, which surprised her. Most humans couldn't meet her eyes. "Are you afraid of me?" she asked. "Yes," Jinha said simply. "Good. Fear keeps you alive." "What do you do here?" "I fix things that break. Lights, computers, pipes, whatever needs fixing." Zarathil studied him. There was something different about this human. He answered her questions, but he didn't beg. He was afraid, but he didn't run. Most humans either cried or shook when they saw her. This one just waited. "How long did you think you could fight us?" she asked. Jinha was quiet for a moment. "We knew we couldn't win a war against you. Then why didn't you surrender faster? Why waste time fighting?" "Because fighting gave our children time to hide. Fighting let our old people say goodbye. Fighting meant something, even if we lost." Zarathil felt a strange chill. In all her conquests, defeated species either begged for mercy or promised revenge. This human talked about fighting like it was normal, like losing and still fighting. Made sense. "Your species is weak," she said, testing him. "Yes," Jinha agreed. "We're smaller than you, weaker than you. We can't see in the dark or breathe poison gas. We die if we get too hot or too cold." "Then how did you survive on this world for so long?" Jinha smiled, just a little. "We're good at learning new things. We're good at changing when we need to. And we're really, really good at not giving up." Something in his voice made Zarathil uncomfortable. She had conquered worlds where the aliens begged, worlds where they fought to the last warrior, worlds where they hid in caves and prayed to their gods. But she had never conquered a world where the aliens talked about learning from defeat. Go back to work, she ordered. Over the next few weeks, Zarathil watched the humans in her palace. They cleaned and fixed and carried things without complaining. But she started to notice small things. Jinha always seemed to be in the right place at the right time. When her guards changed shifts, he was nearby cleaning. When her officers talked about important things, he was fixing lights overhead. When new technology arrived, he was the one who helped install it. The other humans looked to him too. Not in an obvious way, but Zarathil had good eyes. When Jinha nodded, they relaxed. When he frowned, they paid attention. When he spoke quietly to them, they listened. One day, she caught him studying her guard rotation schedule on a computer screen. "What are you doing?" she demanded. Jinha didn't jump or try to run. "Learning when to clean different areas so I don't get in your soldiers' way." It was a good answer. A smart answer, maybe too smart. You learn quickly for a maintenance worker. "Have to," Jinha said. "Your technology is different from ours. If I don't learn fast, I can't do my job. If I can't do my job, you might decide you don't need me." Again, that feeling of something being wrong. This human talked like survival was a skill he practiced every day. That night, Zarathil couldn't sleep. She stood at her window, looking out at the human city below. Lights twinkled in windows. People moved through the streets. Everything looked normal and peaceful, but for the first time since landing on Earth, Empress Zarathil wondered if she had really conquered this world, or if she had just won the first round of a game she didn't understand yet. In the morning, she would find out. She was right to worry. 3 months after the conquest, the first attack came at dawn. Zarathil woke to alarms screaming through her palace. Red lights flashed everywhere. Her guards ran through the halls shouting orders in their language. "What's happening?" she demanded, grabbing her weapons. "The weapon storage facility," General Vexter reported. "It's gone, completely destroyed." "Gone? How?" "Humans, they got inside somehow. Took half our plasma rifles and blew up the rest." Zarathil felt anger burn in her chest. Find them, kill them all. But the humans were already gone. Like ghosts in the night, they had appeared, struck, and vanished. Security cameras showed nothing. Guards remembered nothing. It was like the attack had never happened, except for the smoking hole where her weapons used to be. How did they get past our shields? She asked her tech officer. "We don't know." The shields never went down. The alarms never sounded. They were just ... inside. That afternoon, 3 more attacks hit different parts of the city. A communication tower fell. A transport ship exploded. A group of her soldiers disappeared completely. "This is impossible," General Vexter said. "These humans have no training, no real weapons. How are they doing this?" Zarathil walked to her window and looked out at the city. Everything looked normal. Humans walked the streets, went to work, acted like nothing was happening. But now, she knew better. Somewhere in that peaceful-looking city, humans were planning her destruction. "Double the guards," she ordered. "Check every human who enters the palace. Search them all." The attacks continued for weeks. Each one was different. Each one was impossible. The humans seemed to know exactly where to strike and when. They took weapons, destroyed supplies, and rescued their own people from prison camps. Then the reports started coming from other cities. Human resistance groups were appearing everywhere. They had names like the Underground and Shadow Network and the Rising. They moved like water, flowing around her forces, striking where she was weakest. "Who's leading them?" Zarathil demanded. "We think it's a human female. Codename Harin. She's never been caught, never been seen clearly. But the attacks are too organized to be random." Zarathil studied the reports. The attacks weren't just random violence. They were planned, coordinated, smart. Each one taught the humans something. Knew about her forces. Each one made them stronger. "They're learning," she said quietly. "What?" "They're learning how we fight, how we think, how we move. Every attack is a lesson for them." That night, Jinha came to fix a broken light in her throne room. Zarathil watched him work. thinking about the attacks. Tell me about this. Harin, she said suddenly. Jinna's hands didn't stop moving, but she saw his shoulders tense slightly. I don't know anyone by that name. Don't lie to me. Everyone knows about the resistance leader. Jinha finished fixing the light and turned to face her. Some humans fight back. That's normal for us. Normal? Your planet is conquered. Your armies are destroyed. Fighting back is just suicide. Maybe, Jinha said. But we've always been good at doing things that look like suicide. That's how we survived ice ages and plagues and wars with each other. We don't give up easy. Even when giving up would save lives? Jinha thought about that. Giving up might save lives today. But what about tomorrow? What about our children? Sometimes not giving up is the only way to really live. Before Zarathul could answer, alarms started screaming again. This time they were coming from inside the palace. Impossible, she breathed. Her guards rushed in. Empress, the prison levels! Someone's breaking out the human prisoners? Zarathul ran through the corridors, her 4 arms holding weapons. How had anyone gotten inside her palace? Her security was perfect. Her shields were unbreakable. She reached the prison level just in time to see a human woman leading a group of freed prisoners toward the exit. The woman was small, maybe 25 years old, with black hair tied back. She moved like a dancer, graceful and quick. Harin, Zarathul whispered. The human woman turned and looked right at her. She wasn't afraid. She wasn't angry. She was calm, like this was all part of a plan. Empress, Harin said politely. Thank you for keeping our people safe for us. You're surrounded. My guards are coming. You have nowhere to run. Harin smiled. Do we? The lights went out. Emergency power kicked in, bathing everything in red light. In that moment of darkness, something impossible happened. The solid wall behind Harin slid open, revealing a hidden passage. How? Zarathul demanded. We've been here for 3 months, Harin said. Did you think we were just sitting around feeling sorry for ourselves? Zarathul raised her plasma rifle, but Harin was already moving. The human woman didn't run away. Instead, she stepped closer, moving between the freed prisoners and Zarathul's weapon. You could kill me, Harin said. But that won't stop. What's coming? Kill me, and 10 more will take my place. Kill them, and 100 more will rise. We're not just fighting for today, Empress. We're fighting for tomorrow. Your tomorrow is slavery under my empire. No, Harin said firmly. Our tomorrow is freedom. Maybe not today, maybe not this year, but someday. Because that's what humans do. We endure, we adapt, we overcome. The sound of Zarathul's guards getting closer echoed through the corridor. Harin should have been panicking. Instead, she looked almost sorry for Zarathul. You conquered 17 worlds before ours, Harin said. But those worlds gave up. They accepted defeat. We don't know how to do that. And now we've had 3 months to study you, learn about you, understand how you think. What are you saying? I'm saying you didn't conquer Earth, Empress. You just taught us how to conquer you. Harin stepped backward into the hidden passage. Oh, and Empress? You might want to check your weapon storage on the ship, and your communication array, and your shield generators. The wall slid shut, leaving Zarathul alone in the red-lit corridor. She ran to the communication center. Half her equipment was missing. She ran to the armory, empty. She ran to the shield control room. The generators were still there, but the control codes had been changed. How long? She asked her tech officer. The equipment? Missing for hours, maybe days? The codes? Changed sometime last week. Zarathul felt something she hadn't felt in decades. Fear. Not fear of death, but fear of the unknown. These humans were doing things that should be impossible. They were learning faster than any species she had ever encountered. And in her throne room, Jinha was probably still fixing lights, watching everything, learning everything, for the first time since arriving on Earth. Empress Zarathul wondered if she had made a terrible mistake. The war changed everything. What started as small attacks became a storm that covered the whole planet. Every day brought new reports of human resistance. They hit supply convoys in Africa. They destroyed communication towers in Europe. They freed prison camps in Asia. They were everywhere and nowhere at the same time. But the worst part wasn't the attacks. It was how the humans learned. "Show me the weapon analysis," Zarathil ordered her science officer, the hologram displayed. A plasma rifle, but it looked wrong. Parts were missing. Other parts were added. "The humans took our weapons and changed them," the officer explained. "They made them smaller, lighter, easier to hide. They also made them more powerful. More powerful. How? We don't know. They understand our technology better than we thought possible. In 6 months, they've learned what took our scientists years to develop." Zarathil stared at the weapon. It was her own technology, but twisted into something new. Something better. What about our captured soldiers? "That's worse news, Empress. The humans aren't just taking our weapons. They're studying our biology." Images appeared on the screen. Velthari blood samples, brain scans, genetic maps. They're learning how we think, how we see, how we hear. They know our weaknesses now. "We don't have weaknesses," Zarathil snarled. "We do now." That night, 3 of her guard posts were attacked with gas that only affected Velthari. The humans wore simple masks and walked right through the poison cloud. Her soldiers couldn't breathe, couldn't see, couldn't fight. The attacks weren't random anymore. They were surgical, perfect, designed specifically to hurt her people while leaving humans untouched. "Bring me prisoners," she ordered. "I want to question them myself." Her soldiers brought in 5 humans caught during a failed attack. 4 were young fighters who looked angry and scared. The 5th was an old man with white hair and kind eyes. "What's your name?" she asked the old man. "Quan," he said simply. "You're too old to fight." "Why are you with these rebels?" Quan smiled. "Because someone needs to teach them." "Teach them what?" "How to beat you," Zarathil backhanded him across the face. The old man fell but didn't cry out. Blood ran from his mouth, but he kept smiling. "You think this is funny?" "No," Quan said, wiping blood from his lips. "I think it's educational." "What does that mean?" Quan struggled to his feet. "Every time you hurt us, we learn something new about you. Every time you kill us, the survivors get smarter. Every time you win a battle, we get better at fighting. The next one, you're losing this war, your people are dying." "Yes," Quan agreed. "But we've been dying for a long time. Ice ages killed us. Diseases killed us, wars killed us, disasters killed us. And every time, the ones who lived got stronger." Zarathil studied the old man. There was something in his eyes that made her uncomfortable. Not fear or anger, but something else. Knowledge. "Tell me about your species," she said. Quan sat down on the floor like he was getting comfortable. "Where should I start? With the dinosaurs that almost ate us? The ice that almost froze us? The plagues that almost wiped us out? The wars we fought against each other? Start with why you don't give up, because giving up is death. And we're really, really bad at dying permanently." Quan looked at the ceiling, like he was remembering something. "A long time ago, there were big cats that hunted us. We were slow, weak, had no claws or fangs. Should have been easy prey, but we learned to throw rocks. Then spears, then we learned to set traps. Eventually we hunted those cats to extinction. So we don't stay prey, Empress. We become predators. It just takes us a little time to figure out how." Zarathil felt a chill run down her spine. "You're saying humans will hunt us?" "I'm saying humans always become whatever they need to become. Right now, we need to become the thing that can beat you. So that's what we're becoming." That night, Zarathil couldn't sleep. She walked through her palace, thinking about the old man's words. In the maintenance areas, she found Jinha working on a computer panel. "What are you doing?" she asked. "Updating the air filtration system," Jinha said without looking up. "Some of your soldiers have been getting sick." "Sick how?" "Breathing problems. Nothing serious yet, but I thought I should fix it before it gets worse." Zarathil watched him work. His hands moved quickly over the controls, changing settings, adjusting programs. He knew her technology as well as her own engineers. "How long have you been learning our systems?" "Since the first day," Jinha said. "You told us to maintain them." Hard to maintain something you don't understand. Show me what you've learned. Jinha turned to face her. For the first time, she saw something different in his eyes. Not fear, not respect. Understanding. I've learned your ships use quantum crystals for power. Your weapons need cooling cycles after sustained fire. Your shields have a rotation frequency that can be calculated. Your soldiers see better than us, but they can't hear as well. Your computers use a base 12 system that's actually simpler than our base 10. Each fact hit Zarathil like a physical blow. This maintenance worker knew everything about her technology. Everything about her people? I've learned your food synthesizers can be reprogrammed to make toxins instead of nutrients. Your gravity generators can be overloaded to create crushing force. Your communication arrays can be turned into signal jammers with 3 lines of code. Why are you telling me this? Jinha stepped closer. Because I want you to understand something, Empress. Every human in every job you gave us has been learning. The ones who cook your food know your biology? The ones who clean your ships know your security codes? The ones who translate your language know how you think. You're all spies. We're all human, Jinha corrected, and humans learn. It's what we do, even if it means death? Especially if it means death. Because the ones who survive carry the knowledge forward. And there are always survivors, Empress. There are always more of us. Zarathil realized she was looking at something she had never encountered before. Not just rebellion, evolution. The humans weren't just fighting her conquest. They were adapting to it, learning from it, using it to become something new, something more dangerous than anything in the galaxy. What do you want? She asked quietly. Jinha smiled, and for the first time, Zarathil saw the predator hiding behind the maintenance worker's humble mask. We want you to leave our world, Empress. And we want you to tell the rest of the galaxy why? The end came not with explosions, but with silence. Zarathil woke to find her palace completely quiet. No humming machines. No talking guards, no movement anywhere. She grabbed her weapons and ran to the command center. It was empty. Every screen was dark. Every control panel was dead. Her entire fleet, her mighty war machines, her unbreakable technology, all of it was silent. Guards! She shouted. Her voice echoed in the empty halls. No answer. She ran through the palace, checking room after room. Her soldiers were gone. Her officers were gone. Her servants were gone. Even her prisoners were gone. Only one person remained. Jinha sat in her throne room, calmly reading a book. He looked up when she entered, as if he had been waiting for her. "Good morning, Empress," he said politely. "Where is everyone? What did you do?" "Nothing permanent. Your people are safe. They're sleeping in their quarters while we had this conversation." "Sleeping? How?" "Gas in the air system." "Don't worry, it won't hurt them. They'll wake up in a few hours with headaches, nothing more." Zarathil raised her plasma rifle at him. "I could kill you right now." "Yes, you could," Jinha agreed. "But then you'd never know how we did all this. And you'd never hear our offer." "What offer?" Jinha stood up slowly, his hands visible and empty. "The offer to let you leave peacefully." Zarathil laughed, but it sounded hollow in the empty room. "You think you've won? This is one building. I have an entire fleet in orbit." "Had?" Jinha corrected gently. "Check your communication system." Against her better judgment, Zarathil activated her personal communicator, static. She tried the emergency channels, nothing. She tried the ship frequencies, silence. "Your fleet is fine," Jinha said. "The crews are asleep, just like your palace guards. Harren's teams are very good at their jobs." "Impossible. My ships are in space. You can't reach them. We've been working on your shuttlecraft for months. Every time your people flew up to the ships, they carried a little surprise with them. Your own maintenance workers, the ones you trusted, delivered everything we needed." Zarathil felt her legs getting weak. The maintenance workers were all human. All human, all loyal. All very, very good at learning new things. She sank into a chair, her mind racing. "How long have you been planning this?" Since the day you arrived? Maybe before? We knew someone would come eventually. We've been preparing for invasion since we developed spaceflight. But you had no weapons, no defenses? Jinha smiled sadly. We had the greatest weapon in the universe, Empress. We had time to think. The throne room doors opened. Harin walked in, followed by Quan and dozens of other humans. They weren't carrying weapons. They didn't need to. Hello again, Empress. Harin said, ready to negotiate? Negotiate what? You're holding my people hostage. No, Quan said, stepping forward. We're offering them a choice. The same choice we're offering you. Which is? Leave peacefully and this ends here. Stay and discover what humans are really capable of when we stop being nice. Zarathul looked around the room. 30 humans surrounded her. A month ago, she could have killed them all without breaking a sweat. Now, she realized they were the most dangerous beings she had ever encountered. You want me to just ... We want you to understand something first, Jinha said. Show her. Harin activated. A holographic display. Images filled the air around them. Zarathul's own ships, but changed. Human technology grafted onto Velthari designs. Weapons that combined both species' knowledge. Engines that were twice as efficient as anything in her fleet. We didn't just learn your technology, Harin explained. We improved it. Made it better. Made it ours, but that's not the scary part, Quan added. The scary part is how fast we did it. 6 months to understand technology that took your people centuries to develop. 6 months to not just match you, but surpass you. More images showed human settlements on other worlds. Ships traveling between star systems. Colonies spreading across the galaxy. We're already out there, Jinha said quietly. While you were busy controlling Earth, we were busy learning to leave it. Your invasion taught us everything we needed to know about space travel. Thank you for that. Zarathul stared at the images. You're spreading across the galaxy? We're exploring, learning, meeting other species. Some of them remembered you. Empress, they remembered your conquests. They were very interested in meeting the people who stopped you. You're building an alliance against my empire. We're building friendships, Harin corrected. Turns out a lot of species don't like being conquered. Who would have thought? Quan stepped closer to Zarathul's chair. But here's the thing that should really scare you. We don't want to destroy your empire. We don't want revenge. We just want you to leave us alone. That's it. That's it. Because we learned something important about ourselves during your invasion. We learned that we don't need to conquer other people to be strong. We're strong enough on our own. Jinha walked over to stand in front of her throne. So here's our offer. Take your fleet and leave. Go back to your empire. Tell them that Earth is off limits. Tell them that humans are not to be bothered. Do that, and this ends peacefully. And if I refuse? Then you'll discover what happens when you corner a species that has survived ice ages, plagues, world wars, and alien invasion. You'll learn what we become when we stop trying to be civilized. Zarathul looked into Jinha's eyes and saw something that made her blood freeze. Not anger, not hatred. Just absolute certainty that humans would do whatever it took to survive? You would hunt my people across the galaxy. We would become whatever we needed to become to protect our children, just like we always have. For the first time in her life, Empress Zarathul understood what real fear felt like. Not fear of death, but fear of awakening something that should have been left sleeping. Slowly, she stood up from her throne. Her 4 arms, which had conquered 17 worlds, felt weak and useless. Her weapons, which had destroyed entire armies, seemed like toys. She walked down the steps of her throne until she was standing in front of Jinha. This small, ordinary human who had brought her entire empire to its knees without firing a single shot. And then, for the first time in her life, Empress Zarathul knelt. We accept your terms, she said quietly. Jinha nodded respectfully. Thank you, Empress. Your people will wake up in a few hours. Your ships will be functional. You can leave whenever you're ready. What will you tell the galaxy about us? The truth, that the Velthari Empire tried to conquer Earth, learned it was a mistake, and chose wisdom over war. As Zarathal's fleet left Earth's orbit, she sent a message to every corner of the galaxy: the humans are awake. The humans remember, and they are not to be disturbed. This is not a warning, this is a fact. Learn from our experience or learn from your own. Years later, when other empires asked her about the human homeworld, Zarathal would tell them, "Some worlds you conquer, some worlds conquer you, and some worlds teach you that conquest was never the point. Earth taught me that the most dangerous species in the galaxy is the one that doesn't want to hurt you, but will if you force them to." The maintenance worker who made an Empress kneel had taught the galaxy its most important lesson: never underestimate a human who has nothing left to lose and everything left to protect.